Hey everyone, hope you all are doing well and amazing. Good morning, good evening from wherever you join. Let's wait for a few minutes before we get started with today's live. So, before we go for a live session, I just wanted to give one heads up to everyone. If any one of you have any question, feel free to ask your question in the chat window. I would try my best to answer as much as I can. Okay, so without further delay, let's get started. But just give me few minutes because I just wanted to check couple of things from my end. Just give me a minute and then we can start. All right. Okay, perfect. So I think people started joining and almost 16 to 20 people are already online. So all good. Perfect. So first of all, let me tell you the purpose why we are specifically coming on live for this particular session because for a long time we didn't connected more throughout the live where I can answer your question, and sometimes I didn't get to read all the comments and answer everyone. So this time I thought let's go live and answer everyone's question. Along with that, we will also talk about what is the route of certification you can go if you are specifically working in the Power Platform area. So I'm going to talk about each thing in detail and what is the importance of each certification, and when you are ready for the certification, we'll discuss all of these points in depth in today's session. So without further delay, let's get started. So first of all, let me talk about one of the interesting point over here, that what kind of power platform certifications are available and how someone can go ahead and start the journey of the power platform. So first of all, why certification is important, that is something you need to know. Second thing is we will talk about entire certification journey path over here. Now what do I mean by journey is we need to understand that which route we can go with. Like, is there any sequence we need to follow, or let's say for an example, I'm appearing for any certification. Before that, I need to clear some of the certification. What are the prerequisites for that, or what kind of knowledge you need to have for that? These all the things you should get to know as a newbie. So we will talk about that thing in depth over here. So we will start with the PL 900, then 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and 600. What are all these certification and what are the level over there? We'll talk about that in depth over here. Okay, so now first of all, let me, before we get started, if you haven't followed me on my Twitter and Instagram platform, feel free to follow me over there because these are the platform where I'm uploading short content related power platform. All right, so without further delay, let's get started. So the very first thing I just wanted to explain you guys is what is certification and why it is really important. Okay, let's say, let me just give you one example. Let's say you have a 10 plus years of experience, and let's say you are working with so many projects, but how other people knows that how capable you are. So at the time you can go with the certification, showcase your talent, and it is helpful in many of the case. Whenever we are appearing for any of the certification, it is basically useful for us, like getting hired faster if you wanted to change your job or you want to apply for a new role. At that time also, this certification is really helpful to boost your career. Other important thing about the certification is you will be getting recognized with the specific certification. Like if you are applying for a beginner level certification, you will get the fundamental certification, associate level certification, expert level certification. So you can easily get recognized, get rewarded as well, get promoted, and you will be having the self satisfaction that you know the platform better than others. That makes the certification important. Other important thing I wanted to share it here is specifically in the Microsoft space, why certification is important. Because all the certifications are role based certification. Now what is role based, which means that let's say if you are working on Power BI, there is a dedicated certification around that. If you are working on the Power Automate, there is a dedicated certification on that. If you are a functional consultant, if you are a normal developer, there is dedicated certification for that. So it's something that every role has its own certification and its meaning. Sometimes whenever we are working in the real world, sometimes you are working with the multiple customer, they are asking you to do or clear some of the certifications. So at that time also the certification journey become very very important. Okay. Now what are the other important thing I wanted to share with you guys is, sometimes I have observed that many of you are doing the certification but not doing it in an efficient way. I mean, what people are doing is they are just reading some dumps from the internet, they are clearing the exam, and they just get the certificate. But when they are actually appearing for the interview, and when interviewer is asking some of the question, they are not even able to answer those questions. So make sure that you don't go with that particular route, and never ask any kind of dumps in my live chat, or because I am not totally following into that particular part. But this is what people generally do. But the best way to do certification is always go in depth knowledge and then clear the certification. It's not just like whenever you are mentioning that you have cleared PL 400 or 100 certification in your resume, which means that interviewer is expecting that you have that level of knowledge and expertise to answer some of those questions. So whenever you mention that particular certification in your CV, your question will be based on that, because interviewer also have an assumption that a couple of things related that specific area of expertise. Okay. So make sure that you do the certification in effective way. In this way episode, I'm going to talk about like what is the best way to clear out the certification, what are the different learning path that you can follow for each exam. So let me now talk about that. The very first question arises in everyone's mind when they are working specifically in the Power Platform, that which is the route of the certification they should go with. Okay. So now let me talk about those things in detail. So Power Platform certification journey is starting with the very basic certification, which is PL 900 certification. So PL 900 certification is known as a Power Platform fundamental certification. Like whenever someone is really entering into this Power Platform area and they are just starting that journey, at the time this particular certification will they can start with that. It is the very easiest certification to start with. Okay. And here you can see that it is a very basic, so it is level number 1 of certification. Okay. After that, PL 900, there are other certifications available like PL 100, PL 200. Okay. Now don't just follow the sequence here. Okay. Sequence is doesn't matter that after this you need to follow this, or after this you need to do this. Okay. It's not like that. Level number 2 is all the associate level certification. Now what is associate level? It is more than the fundamental and below than the expert level. Okay. Now at associate level we have 4 different certifications available, which is PL 100, which is dedicatedly designed for app maker. Second one is for functional consultant. Okay. So if you are a functional consultant, BA, business analyst, you can go ahead with this particular certification. Apart from that, there are Power BI data analyst certification, associate certification is also available, which is known as PL 300. If you are dedicatedly Power Platform, if you are a pro developer, you are developing the plugins and those kind of things from the model driven app and all, at the time you can go with the developer associate certification, which is PL 400 certification. And if you are totally into Power Automate RPA, at the time you can go with Power Automate RPA developer associate certification, which is known as a PL 500 certification. So these are all the associate level certification. Okay. So it is like a mid level certification. Now once you pass out the associate level certification, one last certification is the expert level certification, which is called as PL 600, which is known as Power Platform Solution Architect certificate. And for that PL 600, there is one prerequisite over here. If you want to achieve Power Platform Solution Architect expert certification, at that time either you need to go with the PL 200 or PL 400. plus PL 600. At that time you will get the expert certificate. So before you appear for 600, I would encourage either you should go with the 200 or 400, any one of the certification, to get the expert level of certification in this journey. Okay, so overall, if I talk about the summary here, there is no dependency on each other. You can give 900 independently, look, you can give 100, 200, 300, 400 independently, but for 600 only dependency is 200 and 400. Okay, so that is something you need to consider in your mind. Now another important thing, I just wanted to give you an advice that, someone is asking me that, can I appear directly for 200 certification or 100 certification? Yeah, of course, the answer is yes, you can appear for that. But only baseline here is, it is my personal recommendation, is always start with the fundamental first, and then gradually level up. Okay, otherwise what happen here is, when you clear your 900 certification, which is very basic certification, so once you clear out that particular certification, that boosts your confidence that at least you cleared that certification, and then slowly you can level up and increase more up to the next level of certifications. Okay, now let's talk about in depth that which role for, let's say if you are applying for any specific role, which certification is based for you. Okay, so now let me talk about that stuff in detail. And all of the link that I'm going to showcase in today's episode is something which I will paste in the description box after this live, so you can always go through that. Okay, so let me just start with the summary first. So the first thing I just wanted to explain about the PL 900 case. Okay, so basically PL 900, so if you have knowledge on the Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, Power Virtual Agent at the high level, uh, you can go ahead with the PL 900 certification. So it is something like, if you are a business analyst or business professional or IT professional, at the time you can appear for this certification. Or let's say if your goal is you want to understand the overall capability of the Power Platform, based on how you can build the basic solution, at the time also you can appear for PL 900 solution certification. So that will help you to understand the overall capability and the basic solution design of the Power Platform. Now what are the course weightage for this particular PL 900 course? Okay, let me talk about that thing in depth. So when you open up, so I will share all of this link, so don't worry about that. So basically, whenever we look at the overall weightage for any certification, we just need to see what content is going to be covered in that certification. So over here for specifically 900, 20 to 25% of weightage is overall the business value of the Power Platform. So you need to know about the Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, Power Pages, Virtual Agents, Dataverse, and AI Builder stuff. Okay, so it is considered as the overall business value. Second is 10 to 15% of weightage is from identify the foundation component of the Power Platform. 10 to 15% is the capability of the Power BI. 20 to 25% should know about the Power Apps. 15 to 20% is all about Power Automate, and 15 to 20% is about overall Power Platform solutioning. Okay, now over here the thing is that you can see here the highest weightage. Highest weightage is overall business value and overall Power Apps. So almost yeah, 50% of thing will be covered from this 2 point. So when you are preparing for your certification exam, you need to focus on those questions more, because it has a higher amount of questions from that particular area. Okay, and also they covered up like, specifically, let's say if you wanted to know in depth uh, definition of the topics, you can always go through this document in depth, like 20 to 25%. So what are the things that they are expecting from you from that particular topic? You can always go through and check through the documentation over here. Okay, but yeah, PL 900 is very easy one. Anyone who is new or entry level, I can say you started your journey with Power Platform after 6 months, or 6 months of work or 7 months of work, you can start appearing for that. And for that, the best way to learn is Microsoft Learn. Okay, so this is also another good platform which Microsoft has provided, which is 100% free. So you can always go with the certification path. So over here they have guided path for overall Power Platform fundamental preparation. So over here, when you look at, these are all the different module, and they have shown the estimated time as well. So this is one of my favorite place to learn with. So whenever I am applying for any certification, basically I'll always go through this learning path, because learning path is not only just for certification, or even if you are if you wanted to learn more, or you wanted to gain more knowledge into Power Platform at that time also, this is really helpful for you. Okay, so it is guided path. You can see the different path over here for this overall PL 900, and you can go ahead and learn it from there. Okay, now another important trick I wanted to give you for certification is, once you are done with your learning path, after that, practice around the some of the question. For that as well, Microsoft come up with a practice test exam. It is also free link, okay, which I'll provide you in a while. So let me just open up that. Just give me a minute. So just a minute. Let me just quickly open this. Right. I'm just opening this practice assessment. So when you open up this kind of link, you can see this type of question and answer will be appearing for us. So it is like a scenario based question. So when you are appearing for exam, what kind of exam pattern question will be there? I'm not saying that these are the only question which will be asked in this exam. Exam question will be totally different, but at least from here you can check your knowledge about the Power Platform. Okay, so for each certification, they come up with this practice assessment. So go ahead with that, complete that 50 question, and over here they are providing the answer as well. So let's say for an example, this is one question they are asking, that a company uses Power Platform. You need to enable users to ask question in the natural language phrases. Which two Power Platform component you should use? Each correct answer present the solution. Okay, so over here either you can, I'm selecting randomly over here. Okay, and if you just wanted to check the answer after that, you can simply click on check answer. If your answer is correct, it will show you over here. If your answer is incorrect, it will show you this kind of rated box, and it will show you the correct answer as well. Along with that, they are providing the justification of that answer as well, so you can improve your skill set. So for anyone who is very new into this particular part, I must recommend to go with the practice assessment, which is also a free tool in order to use it. Okay, so this is all about PL 900 certification. So once you clear this certification, at least you will get the fundamental certification, and you would be having the enough knowledge of overall Power Platform fundamental, like Power Apps, Power Automate, BI, and virtual agents and Power Pages. Okay, so this is what the thing. Now what is the next level up after PL 900? You can go with the PL 100 or 200. There is no such dependency after 100, 200. It's not the case. You can go independently with any one of that. But let's try to understand what is 100. So PL 100 is dedicatedly focused on the app maker associate. Okay, so it is like, let's say if you are developing an app, for that this certification is very very useful. Okay, so who can specifically apply for this certification? So let's say if you are a business analyst, owner, or a user, or if you are a data analyst or DevOps engineer, or if you are an app maker or a technology manager, at the time you always go with this Power Platform App Maker Associate certification. So this is one more level up certification. So you can see here it's a 2 star over here. So after fundamental, you can apply for this associate certification. Or even if you directly wanted to go with 100, you can go ahead with that. Now let me tell about the overall complexity of this certification. It is harder than 900. So I would recommend that at least take around 15 days of time in order to properly train yourself for 100, because 100 is my personal experience for 100 is one of the toughest. From even 600 I found quite a bit easy than 100. So my personal experience is, read the question properly before you answer, because it is like all the app maker related question will be covered over there. So basically they are asking a question related how you can build the business solution, There are some questions related Power BI as well, model driven application as well, how you can build the business solution. So most of the questions are around that, or mostly the use case based, and they are having the different kind of case study which you need to read and you need to answer your question. So it is working like that. Most of the time PL 100 cases I have seen that users are getting the lesser time. So let me tell you one more important thing here, like for each certification you need minimum 700 marks in order to pass that. If you do not reach up to that level, you need to appear for your certification again. And this 100 certification also come up with 1 year of validity, so after every year you need to basically renew your certification using the Microsoft Learn path. Okay, so make sure that for 100 you give the proper timing for learning and then appearing for the examination. Okay, now let me talk about what will be the basic weightage on the 100 certification. Okay, so let me just quickly open that up. Just give me a minute. 100, this is crazy. Just a minute, let me just quickly open it up. Sorry about that. All right, let me now open this up. Okay, so basically for PL 100, the main stuff is design and build the business solution is around 20 to 25%. Analyze and visualize data is around 10 to 15%, and 60 to 65% is around creating the business solution. Okay, now what is there in detail, let's have a quick look. So by defining a business solution, which means that you need to have a knowledge of how to create a high level designing, how to identify, you need to understand that which power platform component suit based for you. So let's say there are canvas application, model driven application, so you have a knowledge on when to use canvas app, when to use model driven app, how best to implement the UI UX for application. You need to cover up that as well. And every question into this particular session will be based on the real life use cases and example itself. Okay, so basically when you go with the practice assessment over there, you will find some of the question like that. Based on that you can practice it. Okay, I would personally encourage, like if you are working in the power platform area and if you have gone through the canvas app and model driven application thoroughly, after that appear for this certification. Don't rush yourself that you only know canvas app and you wanted to go with model certification. It's very difficult for you. So at least after 1 year or maybe 2 years of experience, I would encourage to go with 100 certification, when you at least have an overall idea about, you have worked on the real project like model driven application and all, then appearing for this certification will best. Also there are some question related Power BI as well. So Power BI related stuff will be there, AI builder related stuff will be there. Okay, also in model driven application as well, you can create the different kind of dashboard and reports, so they will cover up those questions as well into this particular certification. Also some of the business solution related question, where they will be talking about what is solution, environment, publisher, best way of managing the solution, model driven related question, canvas app related question, security related question. So how overall end to end solution is going to be developed, creating the different screen with power effects and UI related, dataverse related question, power automate flow related questions will be there, power virtual agents related questions will be there. So it's overall more preparation, because it's obviously associate level certification, so level is more up, and more project based question will be there into this particular certification. Okay, so you can go ahead with 100 certification after you clear 900. That is my recommendation. Although you want to go with 100 directly, you can go ahead with that as well, that's totally fine. Okay, now that is all about 100, and I told about who can appear for 100. I mean, what's your end goal, or if you are appearing for that kind of role, you can go ahead with 100. Now let me talk about 200 certification. So 200 is again the functional It is called as Power Platform Functional Consultant Associate. That was the App Maker Associate. So basically more questions related App Maker. Here it is more about, like, here we are assuming that you have a broad applied knowledge of Power Platform, including the practical understanding of capabilities, boundaries, and any constraint. So here we are observing that functional consultant. So the word itself is self-explanatory, like what is the job of functional consultant in a real world. So basically functional consultant is the person who is capturing all the requirement processes and decide that whether this particular thing will be fit into the solution, or making a decision that what would be the best for this real project requirement, and making some decision based on that. So that's called as a functional consultant associate certification. And here, like, who can apply for it? As I said, like, if you are very good at requirement analysis, process analysis, data modeling, uh, at the time you can go ahead with this certification. Or let's say if you have a deep knowledge of the Power Platform along with practical understanding of all the capabilities, if you already know about the boundaries, limitations of the platform, you can go ahead with that. Also, if you have experience using the Power Platform Maker tool to create the solution that uses Power Platform and M365, at that time also you can go ahead with this particular certification. Now, in this particular certification, what are the skills which are measured a lot? So here they are checking the skill set of your Dataverse, Power Apps, process automation, Power Virtual Agents, Power BI, and overall environment strategy as well. They are checking up over here. So you need to just consider all of these things in your mind and start with the process. Now here 100 and 200s are, you can see the similarity in the course content, but when you appear for the examination, the focus is bit different. In 100 you are getting the maker related question more. Here you will get more the functional requirement related question. Sometimes you are provided with one of the case study, and you will be asked that, these are the requirement, how many of these are you consider as a functional requirement and non-functional requirement, right? So whenever we start any big project, so obviously during the requirement gathering session time, we are having many requirements which are divided into functional versus non-functional. So basically, if you are appearing for those kind of role, you can go ahead with this particular certification and applying for that. For course outline, I will share the link at the end of the same PowerPoint presentation. You can go ahead that and check the weightage over there and appear for the examination. Okay, so this is 200, which you can also apply as an independent uh, person. Now, fourth certification I wanted to discuss about, PL300. Okay, PL300 certification is specifically if you are a data analyst. Okay, it is intended for Power BI only. Overall, here, let's say for an example, if you are watching this video and you are not working in Power as Power Automate, you are only working in the data side, like, which is Power BI. And if you wanted to earn any certification, this is based for you, which is Data Analyst Associate certification. Okay, which is also higher than 900. And whenever someone is working on Power BI, most of the time customers are preferring that they clear the 300 certification. So you can go ahead with this certification. This is cover many things. It has many different topics, like how you can prepare the data, how you can do the modeling, how you can visualize and analyze data, deploy and maintain the different assets. All of those things will be covered into that. And this is dedicatedly focused on the Power BI only. So you don't need to even go with 100, 200. You can directly apply for 300 and on this certification. If you are a data analyst, or if you are a person who design and build the scalable data models, or who is involved into data lake creation, or transforming the data process, or if you know the advanced analytics capability, and which you think that is adding the business value for the data visualization, and also at that time you can go ahead with this PL300 certification. Okay, so PL300 is all about that. Okay, over here as well, if we look at the weightage of 300, this is overall weightage: preparing the data, modeling the data, visualizing the data, and maintaining the different asset of the data. And you can go ahead in depth topic over here with this certification. So If you are interested for Power BI related stuff, go ahead with PL 300 certification. If you are only into Power Apps, Power Automate side, you can skip this certification as well. That's totally fine. It's up to you. Okay, but yeah, this is the route. All right. After PL 300, let me talk about the another certification, which is another important thing, is PL 400 certification. It is dedicatedly focused on the developers associate certificate. Okay, now what is developer associate role? So let's say for an example, if you are a pro code developer and if you are doing more and more code on the model driven application, like you are writing the plugins, you are writing the code in order to customize your model driven application. Okay, um, at the time, this PL 400 is something which is based for you. So sometimes you are developing the PCF component, you are deploying the PCF component using the command prompt. If you are using the Power Platform CLI, all of those questions are considered into PL 400. PL 400 is also the associate level certification. Okay, and as I said, if you want to apply for 600 with the expert level of certification, either you need to create 200 or 400. Any one of them you can clear it out. But 400 is all about pro code, so more about coding related stuff over there. Okay, so who can apply for this particular certification? So if you are a developer or if you have a strong applied knowledge of Microsoft Power Platform services, include in-depth knowledge of capabilities, boundaries and constraint, you can go ahead with that. Or if you have a understanding of DevOps practices for Microsoft Power Platform, at the time also you can go ahead with this particular certification. Over here, it's more related technical. Okay, so overall, your technical design skill set, your Dataverse, Power Apps, UX experience, how you can extend the platform above and beyond the native out of the box connector, develop the different kind of integration. All of these things or skills are being measured over here. Okay, so 200 is all about functional. Over here is more about technical, and it's all about pro code. Okay, and if you wanted to just go ahead with the weightage over here, you can see here the overall weightage, like 10 to 15% is technical design, Dataverse, Power Apps 10 to 15%, UX, user experience is 10-15%, extend the platform. This is the highest weightage which you need to focus. So all the custom collector, plugin requirement, PCF requirement, all of those fall under this particular part. And develop integration, around 5 to 10% over here. And you can just check the in-depth topic over here, and maybe in the future topics I'm going to cover in-depth video around what's going to cover in each certification in detail. Okay, so we'll go maybe in some of the upcoming video, but here I'm just going you to give you an idea. So if you are a developer, you can target 400 certification. And 400 as well, there is no prerequisite. Even if you are new and if you directly want to apply for 400, you can appear for that. There is no such prerequisites required. And again, this certification also having 1 year of validity, and every 1 year you need to renew it, and 700 is the passing mark for this certification. Okay, so this is PL 400. Now let me talk about uh, one more interesting certification which has been introduced most probably around 1.5 year ago, which is PL 500 certification. Okay, so let's say for an example, if you are into Power Platform but you are not totally into let's say flow development or Power Apps development. Okay, and if you are intended only for desktop related or robotic process automation related skill set, at the time you can appear for 500. So specifically in the Power Automate part, we have the process automation, we have the cloud flow, we have automated desktop flow. So desktop flow is known as a robotic process automation flow. If you are a if developer and you want to automate the time consuming and repetitive task by using Power Automate, and you review the solution requirement, creating the process documentation and design, develop and troubleshoot the solution, you can go with this particular take off area. Now over here, what are the knowledge you required? So basically, Power Automate, AI Builder, Azure services knowledge is required. And if I talk about the overall skills which are going to measure into this particular certification, is all about Overall, design automation is 30 to 35%, developing the automation is 40 to 45%, and managing automation is 20 to 25%. Okay, so here you need the power automate feature and capabilities like cloud flows, what is trigger, what is action, also like http action and cloud flow and desktop flow concurrently, how you can call it. So many different concepts are over there. Even they are asking for process advisor, process mining, task mining. These all like some of the premium feature of the power automate. Even how you can scripting the languages in the desktop flow, that is also they are asking. So more about more and more weightage is around the desktop flow, so you can go ahead with the entire reading from this particular course weightage stuff and appear for the PL500. For PL500 as well, there is no such prerequisites that you need to go ahead with the previous one and then you need to go with this one. You can directly appear for PL500 directly. And overall here as well, 1 year of validity, along with that 700 is the passing mark for this particular certification. And at the end you will get the associate level certification at the Power Automate RPA level. Okay, so this is what you will get. And the last certification on this Power Platform suite is 600. So this will give you expert level of certification. If you want to achieve this expert level of certification, there is one prerequisite. Either you should clear PL 200 or PL 400, any one of them should be cleared. With that you can appear for PL 600, and this will give you the expert level of certification over here. So this is the highest level. So so we have started with fundamentals, then we move to the associate, and this is what it is, like expert level of certification. Okay, now who can appear for this kind of certification? Now here it's an expert level, so which means that you are expert of entire Power Platform suite. So if you are a solution architect or senior consultant, or let's say if you are a senior developer at this moment, or you wanted to change your role to the next level, at that time you can go ahead with the expert level of certification. And this requires a professional with strong applied knowledge of Power Platform services, and including in-depth knowledge of capabilities, boundaries and constraints as well. Okay, and for this as well, if you look at the overall skill set that is required for this particular certification is like this. Over here they are asking that perform the solution envisioning and requirement analysis. Over here when you appear for this certification question, they are not just asking that how to create this or how to create this, because it's a architect level of uh, exam. Okay, so mostly the use case based question will be there into this particular certification, and how you can architect a solution or implement the solution. And for that there are many things. So basically in Power Apps as well, you should have a knowledge of entire stuff like Canvas app, model driven app, Power Pages as well, custom connector as well. Even in the cloud flow you should have knowledge of uh, uh, cloud flow, then schedule flow, business process flows, process mining, entire stuff is required. Even some sort of PCF question related questions are also being asked. You should have enough knowledge on the security as well, integration as well. So it's an overall expert level of solution certification, which is the last level of Power Platform certification route. Okay, so that's the overall idea about the certification. So let's say if you are aiming any new certification in 2024, my personal recommendation is start your journey with 900. Then maybe if you are into Power Apps and Power Automate and Power Platform side basically, then you can go ahead with 100, 200 certification, or 400. 400 I only recommend for those who are pro developer only, who has worked lots of thing into model driven application. Apart from that you can go with 100, 200. If you are into Power BI, go ahead with the 300. This is the best associate certification that you can earn here. And if you are totally into RPA side, you can go ahead with 500 certification. Okay, and if you just are overall expert of the platform, go ahead with the expert solution architect certification, which is 600 certification. Okay, so that's the certification journey you can take through in the new year, or maybe this year if you're planning for any certification. Okay, so that's it for today's live session. uh, most probably every month or every 15 days we will come with this kind of live, so you can engage more with me, and you can also propose some new topics for the next live session in the chat window or in the comment section. I would happy to read that, and based on that we can plan some more sessions around that. Okay, so now I will read the questions from the chat window. So if you have any question for me, just add in the chat window. I would try my best to answer as much as I can. Okay, so I can see the question from Vipul. I need information related to PL 500. How can we prepare for that certification? It's a very good question, Vipul. So as I said, PL 500 is all about the Power Automate RPA certification. So I will provide you the link in the description box. Okay. So basically, they have provided this self-paced pass for overall RPA developer. So here there is whole learning path. You can go ahead with this learning path. Along with that, they are providing some practice exam question as well for PL 500, using which you can simply practice over here as well. Here it's a paid, they have not provided some free, but at least using this learning path you can practice around that. Okay. um, Gaurav has a question. Hi sir, I completed my BTech from mechanical engineering. Now I want to switch into IT. So which course I can choose, full stack development or data science or ALML? So I think this is totally, I mean, this is not totally relevant with this particular journey, but I mean, it's up to you. I mean, if you are more interested onto data side, go ahead with the data science course. Or if you are someone who love to build the application and business application, at the time you can go with the Power Apps side of route. So it's up to you, which one you would love to do more. Initially, I would say experiment with different things and then decide that which one you feel more comfortable with, and go ahead with that as your career path. Okay, Akshay has a question. Sir, can you please share the roadmap to become Power Platform developer, including what project to include to get a job? Uh, okay, maybe like what project to include to get a job. You will get a job because look, nowadays the thing is that market is very competitive. It's not like a COVID scenario where few things and you will get easily a job. Okay, so basically be honest when you are appearing for a job. So sometimes what happen is you writing lots of projects into your resume or CV, and when you appear for interview and when you do the actual work, you will not be able to justify your job at that time. Even if you get a job, you maybe just because of lack of skill set, they'll not allow you to continue. So make sure that you there is no such roadmap. I mean, everyone's journey is different here. So it's like mostly the Canvas application, model driven application, or Power BI project you worked upon. You can simply mention that. You just don't need to go on the random internet to pick up any random definition to add in your CV. Okay, just be honest with that. Otherwise, if I am going to take someone's interview, interviewer easily get to know what you did versus what you didn't do. Okay. A person has a question. Hi Dhruvin, will this live session recording will be available over here on the YouTube channel later? Most probably no. This will only live with the live purposes. We are going most of the time live, but let's see if I can make it available. I didn't decided that yet. Let's see. I have 10 years of experience. Will Power Automate help me to get job outside now, and how this help? Okay. Will Power Automate help me to get job outside? Okay, so look, the job questions that you guys are asking is more about like, uh, as I say, like today's market is more competitive. With only one skill set, you cannot get your job easily, because no one is hiring a person who is only knowing the Power Apps or who is only knowing the Power Automate. They're always looking for a combined skill set. That makes your profile much more stronger rather than the individual skill set. Okay, by 12 years of experience, if I need to hire someone, I will look at the combined skill set only based on Power Automate. uh, you can get a job who is dedicatedly into RPA area, but not the cloud flow and schedule flow area. So you can target PL 500 for that. Maybe based on that you will get some good opportunity. Sir, can a non-technical background student make a career in Power Platform? Yes, they can make a career in the Power Platform. I have seen many developers in my career who did an amazing job being a non-technical background. But yeah, every journey it requires a time. You dedicatedly need to focus on the things that you are learning on, but it's not an impossible thing, because low code and no code concept is the same. I mean, even if you are non-technical, you need to put extra effort in order to achieve the stuff, but you can become a good developer. I have seen many developers who built many advanced application with my overall career. So yeah, you can be. um, I need help my role along with PL500. Which one will be needed for Power Automate? So PL500 thing I discussed during our live session, and I will add the link as well. You can just go ahead with the stuff. Can you brief explain the co-pilot? Maybe some upcoming live session. I will take those things. Real-time scenarios. Real-time scenario I cannot discuss the publicly here because of the NDA or contracts that I'm working with my customers. So that's something I really can't discuss on the live. Vignesh has a question. Career in Power Apps. It's a very good career option if you are good, and if you are more interested to build the application in the business application suite. .NET and Power Apps, can we replace .NET in feature? Someone asked a question, .NET versus Power Apps. It's a wrong comparison. .NET is totally different stuff. Okay. Now over here, this is the question, like if I build the application in Power Apps versus other technology, how it looks like. It totally different. Okay. .NET is totally a code based programming. Here it's a low code. Okay. You can build entire Power Apps in .NET as well. Okay, there is no such principle like you can build here versus not there. Okay, so maybe in some upcoming sessions we can discuss code base versus no code. That's a good topic though. Is there any way we can get a coupon for 900 or 500? 900 you are getting coupons when you are going with cloud skill challenge and all of those, and sometimes they have some training using which you can get the coupons for 900. 500 I'm not sure. Whenever such announcement will be there, I'm mostly making the short video on my YouTube or Instagram, so just follow that. Can you make a video on interview question for experience resource which should cover in 100? And I think experience resource for which, can you make video on interview question for experience resource which should cover 100 and 400? uh, I don't think so I will make such content on my channel, because I'm not promoting like you just go with my video, clear the interview and after suffer a lot. So that's what, like most probably that's not in my wish list, so I'll not be preparing such thing. Maybe some basic question I can prepare, but I'm not. I started some interview question series, but I did not get a good response though, or maybe I'm also not feeling good about revealing interview question on the public internet. So that's why I'm just thinking not to create a content around that. Is having certification on my resume usually mandatory to get it? No, it is not mandatory. Okay, so don't feel if you don't need any certification. Some organize, it's just like a nice to have. It's not like just for job you need certification. Do the certification when you feel confident about the technology and when you feel that you are ready for the certification. Okay, so it's not necessary that your resume should always have certification. It's like when you mention the certification, the interviewer have expectation that at least you know around whatever certification you cleared out. Okay. Can I know when you start a new batch for Power Automate, Power Apps training, fees and duration? Our For this year we are about to finish our course, so most probably next year 2024 quarter one, most probably February or March we will start, and at that time we will disclose all this information. So that's the plan, right? Okay, so I think I covered most of the question from the chat window as well. So yeah, all good. Hope this live at least help you and values your time. If so, maybe hit thumbs up and share this video with your friends and family. And if you are for the very first time, please don't forget to follow me on my Instagram and YouTube handle. So just search for my name, and from there you can find all the content related to Power Platform, and just click on this link where you can follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, or LinkedIn, any platform over here. Okay, so yeah, stay connected with me. Maybe on next Wednesday we will come up with some more interesting topic. Maybe you can share your thoughts in the comment section what you wanted to see me with the new topic, and it's good to connect with you, all of you guys on live. So thank you so much. Wishing you a great evening ahead and have a great day ahead. Goodbye.